Hey there guys, it's Landry here, the new Smark Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Champion. I'm here to give you my review of the February 28th episode of NXT and tell you if it was worth it. So this night started off with a great video package for Johnny Gargano, talking about his match last week with Adrian Almas and how he has to leave now. That's very good, very emotional, really sets you in the mood for the night. It also hypes up the fact that the end of the night they're gonna have a promo from Adrian Almas. So that's good. Get you hype for what's later on in the night. But then we get into our first match, which is Tyler Bates versus the Velveteen Dream, and this is a really good match right there. They had really great back and forth. They worked well together. Great chemistry. There was really good storytelling and good in-ring psychology, and the commentators really did a great job, building that ring psychology, building that storytelling, really informing you on what's going on. So everyone did a really great job all around for the match. The only weak point I felt was the crowd. The crowd really didn't get into it for whatever reason, but beyond that, everyone else did really well, and it was a very entertaining match. Definitely worth it. Now we get into our next segments with our video packages. These were to hype up the Dusty Road Tag Team Classic. First one was by Authors of Pain, just a backstage promo. This was good, it did the job, hype up the classic. Then the next one was a Street Profits segment. It's another one of their bits when they go on the street, do some funny interviews. This was, good, but I don't know the reason why they don't give them like real cameras to work with or anything, but it really looks like they just tell them, go out there with your phone and record things. It just doesn't look good from that perspective. But beyond that, it once again it did its job. I wouldn't say that they you have to watch them. It's I don't think you really miss anything if you don't see them, but they're still good. Get you in the mood for the tournament coming up, and that's gonna start next week, as they said on tonight. So then we get into our second match. This is not really anything to talk about much. Adam Cole versus Cesar Bononi, and this is really just a squash match. It's there and it's gone. Like I said, this doesn't really matter that much. Definitely not worth it, in my opinion. And definitely a really bad follow up from the first match, and doesn't even really go up to the last match either. But before we get to the last match, they have a backstage segment with Johnny Gargano, William Regal, and the referee from last week from the Johnny Gargano Adrian Almas match. They're back there because William Regal was signing the termination papers for Johnny Gargano. And this is a nice, nice backstage segment. And it's very emotional and all. But the real spoiler to it is I've seen this before because they put it on the YouTube page. So the WWE YouTube page already had that up. So I don't know why they do that. Why don't they keep stuff like that more exclusive just to NXT, to get you to watch it? But it's just kind of spoiled for me, I guess. So I didn't really care for it that much just because of that. If it was the first time I saw it, I would care more, but it's just one of those things WWE does. Anyways, after that, we have a video package to hype up the next match, Shayna Baszler versus Kairi Sane. And, that video package is good. Get you in the mood, and we get right into the match afterwards. And this was a really good match. It was probably one of Shayna's best since, becoming part of the NXT TV show. But it was real good, and it was definitely a lot because Kairi Sane actually got some offense in. So it wasn't just a one-sided affair. And they had some nice back and forth. Shayna does end up winning, but It's still very good, very, pretty fun to watch. Not as good as the first match, but it was still very solid, and I would still say it was definitely worth it. Now we get into the last segment of the night, which, as I said before, was the promo from Adrian Almas, and he's also out there with Selena Vega, of course, and they've always talked about them before as business partners, but for whatever reason tonight they really kind of had to go through as that they're a couple more than just business partners. Just, I don't know, the random thing that I picked up on that they change, I guess. But anyways, from this, it was a not very good promo. I would say that, much like the first promo they did, after he won the championship, it was just a lot of them yelling, and it was just pretty annoying. I mean, it's not Vicky Guerrero bad, but it's still not very good. The only real reason to watch it is because, well, they're not just gonna have a promo and no one interrupts them. So you watch for the interruption. That was Alistair Black coming down, saying he wants a shot at the title, but before he can really finish that, he gets interrupted by Killian Dane, and you see them two stare off, and then they start brawling into the ring, while Adrian Almas, runs out of the arena. This is a real good way to end the night. Just cool to see them go throw down, and of course teasing their match that was going to come in the next few weeks, I guess. So really good way to finish that. So for overall for the night, I would say watch the video packages and the backstage segments with Johnny Gargano. Watch the first match, of course, Tyler Bates vs. Velveteen Dream. Watch the women's match, and then watch the promo, but I would say skip most of the front of it, and then just watch the point where Alistair Black comes and interrupts him, and then if you get that, that would be a very great segment. I guess you can also throw in the video segments for Authors of Pain and Street Profits. Once again, it's not really essential, but it's still pretty good promos. And then if you do that, that's definitely a great episode of NXT right there, and it's definitely worth it. But anyways, see ya.